find skeletal remains of 3 people after buying sight unseen home at auction. Bought a house sight unseen at a foreclosure auction, was horrified to walk into the property for the first time and discover the skeletal remains of 3 bodies inside. Edward Marjun purchased the 4-bedroom home in Connecticut for $525,000. The property, which came with 2 acres of land, a hot tub and patio, seemed like a bargain at first, as its value was at $650,000 according to the Wall Street Journal. One condition of the foreclosure sale was that bidders had to buy it without taking a look inside and in as is condition. After attracting a flurry of bids, the house was eventually sold to Marjin in June. But upon entering the property for the first time, Marjin made the grim discovery of skeletal remains and called the police. But I don't understand why this guy didn't back out of it in the first place. Like, if you get told that you're not allowed to look inside the house when you're interested in buying that house, that seems to me a bit dodgy. That would say to me, okay, something's really suspicious here, regardless of what that is. So I don't know why this guy proceeded to buy the house without being allowed to look inside it first. That just seems weird. Overconfident, I don't know. Obviously, you're not going to come to the conclusion of bodies being laid around in the house, because you wouldn't think of that sort of thing. But still, you would want at least a first look to see if it was right for you or not. Yeah. A new home buyer who purchased the structure as is at a foreclosure auction discovered skeletal remains of 3 individuals at their home. The Connecticut police said in a statement, 2 of the bodies have died, as Sally Ann Cash, who would have been 54 as of this week, and her son Brian, who would have turned 23 this month. The police department has said the 3rd body is yet to be identified and is still ongoing DNA testing through the Connecticut office of the chief medical examiner. As yet, it's unclear on how they died or how long they had laid inside the house until they were discovered. Police have said there is no indication of anything suspicious and no indication of any criminal aspect. And added, this appears to be an isolated incident and there is no danger to the public at this time. Burlington Volunteer Fire Department Emergency Management Director Michael Boucher told CT Insider that the firefighters were called out to test the property for carbon monoxide after the remains were found, and has since been reported that the test proved negative. Records show that Cash bought the house with her husband Paul in 2019. Court records revealed that foreclosure proceedings on the property started on the 3rd of August 2025, around 6 months after the owner's mortgage provider had written to tell them their mortgage was in default. That same month, State Marshal Grant S. Something attempted to serve papers to the owners but wasn't able to do so. To CT Insider, he said he had struggled to find a home, partly down to how overgrown the garden had become, which obscured the property's driveway. I came over the balcony to get to the door because the trees were overgrown, he said. I couldn't get into the pathway. He said he had to knock on the door but no one answered, and claimed a neighbour told him they hadn't seen the owners in years. Local resident Matt Turner told the Wall Street Journal he couldn't believe no one had been sent out to inspect the property before the sale. You would think they would have been. That would make more sense. It seemed like the type of thing where somebody would go into the house and at least make sure there are no dead bodies, he said. So as always, I'd love to get you guys' opinion and your feedback. So with that being said, thank you all for listening to this episode. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye for now.